Hello guys, വീണ്ടും അലൻ വേക്കിൻ്റെ എപ്പിസോഡുമായിട്ട് വന്നിരിക്കുകയാണ്. അലൻ വേക്ക് നമുക്ക് ഇതുമായിട്ട് ആ സ്റ്റോറി നമ്മളെ ഒരു ക്ലൈമാക്സിൽ എത്തിപ്പിച്ചില്ല. പക്ഷേ പോകുന്നവരും ഓരോ എപ്പിസോഡ് പോകുന്നവരും സംഭവം ഇൻട്രസ്റ്റിംഗ് ആയി വരുന്നുണ്ട്. നമുക്കതൊരു 5-6 എപ്പിസോഡ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് നമുക്കത് വിലയിരുത്താൻ പറ്റും. അപ്പം നമ്മൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ എപ്പിസോഡിൽ ബാരീനെ രക്ഷിക്കുന്ന ഒരു സംഭവത്തിലായിരുന്നു. ബാരിയെ രക്ഷിച്ചു കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ടാണ് നമ്മൾ എപ്പിസോഡ് നിർത്തിയത്. അപ്പം നമുക്ക് കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യാം. നമുക്ക് എന്തൊക്കെ നടന്നതെന്ന് റിവൈൻഡ് ചെയ്ത് ഗെയിം തന്നെ കാണിച്ചു.
Previously on Alan Wake, Alice has been kidnapped.
Alan, please help me.
Alice?
You'll do exactly what I say if you ever want to see your wife again.
I can't tell anyone except my agent Barry.
Damn it, Barry, they'll kill her!
You're my best friend, and I'm worried that you're not right in the head.
The ransom is a manuscript I supposedly wrote that's coming true before my eyes.
It happened just the way it was on that page. So dark.
I have found only a few scattered pages.
I want the entire manuscript.
The deadline is in 2 days.
I found Mr. Wake's pages.
Good girl.
How the hell did she get her hands on the manuscript anyway?
I don't know. She's resourceful. I told you you were too hard on her. Listen, I found out all sorts of interesting stuff while I was digging around.
Yeah.
Mr. Wake, it's Sheriff Breaker. We have an FBI agent here, Agent Nightingale.
FBI?
He's anxious to see you. You'd better come to the station.
Okay, I'll be right over, Sheriff. Let's make this quick, huh?
Help you folks? Name's Randolph. I'm the manager.
We're looking for Rose. Works as a waitress down at the diner.
Rose, sure. Nice girl. Who wants to know?
I'm Alan Wake.
The writer, huh? I heard on the radio you were visiting. Well, I'll show you her trailer. That Rose, she's a nice girl. Always pays her rent on time.
As I was saying, Al, I found all sorts of weird stuff from the local newspaper's archives. This place is crazy. Disappearances, mysterious deaths, urban legends come true, and get this, most of this stuff takes place around Cauldron Lake.
Well, you ain't wrong, mister. The Indians thought the lake was a doorway to the underworld. I'm the God-fearing type myself. I don't hold with that sort of thing.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, there was an island there owned by a guy called Thomas Zane. Now, some of the articles I found about him make him out to be a famous writer, but I ran a bunch of searches, couldn't find a single thing he wrote. Zane was heavily into diving, so much so that the place came to be called Diver's Isle. But the volcano under the lake erupted in 1970, and Zane went down with the island.
Okay.
It gets better. A local girl, Barbara Jagger, drowned in Cauldron Lake just a week earlier. They were lovers.
Sure, Jagger's a local spook story. The Scratching Hag comes for you in the dark. Childish stuff like that.
Anyway, Al, I'm just getting to the best part. All of the articles about this stuff were written by Cynthia Weaver. I asked around, and she's that crazy bag lady you met.
What, the lamp lady? She can be a little loopy, but she's not homeless or anything.
Yeah, anyway, she knew both Jagger and Zane before they both died, and she had some kind of a breakdown.
Well, mister, this here's Rose's trailer. You mind me asking what you want with her?
We're just here to talk to her, pal.
അയ്യോ അവള് മറ്റേ എന്തോ ഒരുമാതിരി ഒരുമാതിരിയൊക്കെ സംസാരിച്ചത് നമ്മൾ കഴിഞ്ഞ എപ്പിസോഡിൽ കണ്ടേ. ആരോ അവളെ ഭീഷണിപ്പെടുത്തി സംസാരിക്കുന്നത്.
Welcome to oh dear, Mr. Wake. I'm so glad you're here.
Rose, you have my manuscript?
Oh yes. Yes. Please come in.
Hey, this is really good. Rose,
Yes,
my manuscript. I really need it.
I understand. I know what you need. A muse to inspire you.
Oh, for Barry? She doesn't have anything.
Yeah, hey, Al? Al, what's... Oh...
Barry! What? What?
It's coming for you, hiding in my barber's skin. I'm too weak to stop it. You must turn the lights on.
I promised I'd come visit you and your lovely wife. You must finish what you started. I insist.
You must turn the lights on. Turn the light on.
Back to work, boy.
I felt nauseous, hungover. Only anger kept me going.
Oh, this original character. Okay, മനസ്സിലായി.
Rose took a day from me. I had less than 12 hours left to meet the kidnapper. All I could do was get Barry into the car, work something out once I got on the road.
Welcome to the Oh Dear Diner. What can I get you today? Coffee?
I couldn't work up much hate for Rose. Something had used her to get to me and left its mark.
First refill is free.
My gun and flashlight were gone. I'd have to find a way to get Barry into the car as quickly as possible. There was no... Mr. Randolph liked Rose. That little smile she had. How she was still sweet when life had tried so hard to make her bitter. It wasn't any of his business what she did in her trailer. But those strangers, the writer and his smart-ass sidekick, looked like trouble. And they'd been in there for hours, way past her normal bedtime. He reached for the phone and called the sheriff's station. Time to waste.
Okay. Get to the car. ഒന്നുമില്ല കേട്ടാ. എന്തെങ്കിലും പൊങ്ങി വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ എനിക്കറിയില്ല. ഇവനെ തടഞ്ഞു. എന്ത് വാഴയുടെ ഒന്ന് ഓടാൻ പോലും ഉള്ള. അവിടെ ആരാ നിൽക്കുന്നത്? ആ മാനേജർ.
Oh, you're gonna get it now. God knows what you've done to that poor girl.
This is Agent Nightingale, FBI! Get him up, Hemingway! You're under arrest! You move a muscle, I'll unload right in your goddamn face! Stay right where you are, Slane!
What are? I'm standing right here, you goddamn maniac!
I hated to leave Barry behind, but there was no way I'd miss my appointment with the kidnapper.
Give it up, Mr. Wake! Come on! Take it easy on it! Get after it! Don't let him get away! Move it! Move it! Move it!
ദാർസ്ഥാനം എഴുതില്ലെന്നും പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കാം. രണ്ടും കൂടെ ആയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ പണി. തോക്കുമില്ല, തോർച്ചുമില്ല, സ്റ്റാമിനയില്ല.
Stop running! There he goes!
Okay, men, keep your eyes peeled. He's gonna try to make it through here.
This way!
Oh, damn!
Man out! Whoa!
Come on, guys. We need to head him off.
For decades, the darkness that wore Barbara Jagger's skin slept fitfully in the dark place that was its home and prison. It was hungry and in pain. It dreamed of its nights of glory when the poet's writing had called it from the depths and given it a brief, terrible taste of power and freedom. The rock stars had stirred it from the deep sleep the poet had sunk it back to in the end. When it sensed the writer on the ferry, it opened its eyes.
Okay. Poem വായിക്കുന്നവര്.
Search the area.
ഇപ്പോഴും പോലീസുകാരുടെ കയ്യിൽ നിന്ന് രക്ഷപ്പെട്ടാൽ മതി എന്നാ പറയുന്നത്. ഷാഡോ ക്രീച്ചേഴ്സ് ഒക്കെ വന്നു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ
This horror was everywhere I went, circling me. The cops didn't stand a chance. They were after a writer, not a monster. I could see the lights of the radio station in the distance.
Over. I don't have anything on that, Deputy Mulligan. Over. Well...
I imagined that the broadcast tower in the distance was part of the local radio station. Maine seemed like a decent guy. Perhaps he could give me directions to the coal mine. Unnatural shadows clung to the gate. The darkness that was after me was trying to stop me. I wouldn't get through without a light. The old generator conked out. I'd have to see if I could fix it and try again.
എന്തായാലും ഗെയിം സോ ഫാർ ബെറ്റർ ആണ്, കൊള്ളാം. ഈ ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് പേടിക്കുന്ന പേടിപ്പിക്കുന്ന സീക്വൻസ് വെച്ച് ബാക്കിയെല്ലാം അല്ല കുഴപ്പമില്ല.
It took me a moment to recognize the flashbang grenades. They were an ideal weapon for my situation.
Team 1, come in. Over. Team 1, this is Sheriff Breaker. Report. Over.
Okay.
Team 2, come in. I need a report. Over.
And here's another call. You're on KBF-FM with Pat Maine.
It's Milt Peabody, Pat.
What's on your mind, Milt?
Well, I live near the trailer park, Pat, and there's a big ruckus going on over there.
വെറൈറ്റി ആയിട്ടുള്ള കണ്ടന്റ് ഉള്ള ഗെയിം.
I hope Maine could lend me a car to get to the coal mine.
Radio tower.
Oh, hello, Lorna. What do you have for us?
Well, I just don't see why the cops bother with the trailer park.
What do you mean?
It's a trailer park. Of course you're going to have trouble in a place like that. I mean, what do you expect? The sheriff should be helping us normal citizens instead of wasting resources on those people.
Well...
Let the trash sort themselves out. I'm sorry, but my granddaddy settled in Bright Falls in 1911.
Well, thank you very much for that compassionate viewpoint, Lorna. Oh, here's a little surprise. The famous writer Alan Wake just walked in. Folks, I'm going to see if I can talk him into an interview.
Come on in, Mr. Wake. Oh, I'm so glad you could find the time to do this, Mr. Wake.
Nowhere to run now, Dan Brown. You back away from me. Don't hurt.
Whoa. Everyone calm down. Put the gun down. We're all friends here, right?
Cool your jets, Nightingale. We got him. What the hell's the matter with you? There's a civilian in there.
I'll get you yet, even if it kills you. You hear me? You hear me, H.P. Lovecraft?
I had fallen off so many cliffs it was ridiculous. That's what you get for naming a book The Sudden Stop. It was probably good I hadn't had the chance to tell Maine where I... Nightingale stared through the broken studio window into the dark woods. He turned around, started to walk out, but Maine grabbed his arm. "Young man, you almost shot me. You don't shoot off rounds at people like that. What's the matter with you?" Nightingale shook his arm free, marched out. His cheeks burned with rage and humiliation.
Okay.
I was going. I'd have to lose the cops and find my own way to the mine.
Where is he?
There was no sensible reason for the power company work lights to be here. It was almost as if they'd been left for someone like me to use.
Hello?
The most stubborn man I've ever met.
Alice? Alice?
Alan, I'm so afraid. Keeps me in the dark. Please help me. I look at you, Alan, and it's not you. Something else. Looking out from behind your eyes.
Alice, I'm here.
I'm so alone here. It's all gonna go to hell. You need to be careful. Cooperate.
The connection had been terrible, but that wasn't the only thing that hadn't been right with the call. She sounded wrong somehow. The pipe wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework. Wrapped in darkness, it floated in midair. But she had called me. I could see a railway bridge up ahead, and a warehouse of some sort on the opposite shore. I hoped I could find a car from there. The pipe wrenched itself loose from the bridge's steel framework. I slammed the door shut right in his smug face. He pleaded. As a teenager, just starting to get interested in writing, Stephen King had been a source of inspiration to me. I thought about all the inanimate objects that had come to life in his books. No one is safe in a good horror story. Certainly not the protagonist. That's what makes them fun. This was anything but. The darkness could possess anything, and it was getting closer.
Did you call 911?
Light, you can hurt them.
We take the facts of our existence for granted. unaware that they are merely a thin veneer of desperate self-delusion, covering a vast cosmos of madness and horror. All too often, the stars are right in night.
The darkness surged towards me, sucking everything loose from the ground into its depths, tugging at my clothes. I saw the flare the kidnapper had dropped and threw myself towards it just as I felt my feet leave the ground. The darkness embraced me with the force of a tornado. Somehow I managed to light the flare. The darkness roared and cast me away. I fell toward the dark waters of the lake far below.
Springs.
ഇനി തോക്കും ടോർച്ചും ഉണ്ടായണ്ട ഇത്രയും പിടിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഫുള്ളായി. എന്തായാലും അത് വന്ന് വരണ്ടേ. വണ്ടിയിൽ ആരെങ്കിലും കാണും.
I had never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine. The coal mine wasn't far now.